dedicating time to something that I don't have outside motivation or gauge for is really difficult for me, I think. Ashton's Daily Head Diary. Something that bugs me the most is realizing that there was something I was supposed to do that I forgot about, but most often it's not like a tangible task kind of thing. The better way might be to put it as there was a decision I was supposed to make that I forgot about, because all I could focus on was right now and what needs done. And I can often get those things done, feel productive, but decision making, I basically forgot to do that. I don't have something to remind me. I think other neurally diverse folks try to figure out the hacks and tricks. Like when you realize, oh, I always forget I need to make this decision, put little notes around or whatever when you are thinking about it to say, hey, don't forget, figure out this thing, make a decision about goals in your life, feelings you have around certain things, why something bothers you, what is it that really makes you happy, your values, things I thought maybe I had figured out or definitely wished that I had figured out before turning 40. I guess I have a few months left. I think the way it's sometimes perceived, or at least I think it is that I don't care about the thing or I didn't try. But really it's that it never was in my purview. My attention was never on that particular task or subject. The task of thinking through a thing and making a decision. And on top of that, the decision-making part seems harder than ever for me when I actually do either take the time to just think and decide a thing, figure out a thing, or even, do a mindless thing so that I can think about it, like doing dishes or cutting the grass. Things that just take time, but you don't really need to think about what you're doing too hard. I think in general, the issue is I get to some sort of decision-making point, but don't feel that the decision is, valid enough, substantiated enough. I don't know, I don't have the feeling that it's the right decision enough. And it's not really based on much besides the idea of gut feeling or what's in your heart. Maybe it's just too much of that and not enough objective truth, facts. Maybe I've become kind of cynical, but cautious, I guess. Suspicious also, that I tend to have this doubt biased on a lot of things. Or at the very least, I can hold in my mind the idea of, yeah, this is probably true. There's a chance it's not true. That feeling feels more accurate, honest, true to me. But it really lacks any kind of decision-making power because I don't know what I actually believe is true. Am I too worried about things out of my control? Things that if I knew the truth, the reality anyway, it wouldn't really make a difference? But I think most often these happen in fairly important areas of life about sort of right and wrong, what is good and what is ideal, what is preferred to whatever I'm considering, be it myself, my family, general society, at work. I'm not sure what the fear is. I don't want to be wrong, I guess. Or I observe other people in the world and think they are misconceived, they don't have it right, and it's leading to less than desirable actions or outcomes. Or they exude a contentment or happiness that isn't justified in my mind, maybe. Very few things, I guess, are cut and dry. This thought I've had lately is that people who feel like they know what's right or the best way to do something or how the world should be are choosing a simpler, measurable kind of option. But by making that decision, they're saying no to everything else, or everything else is bad, I guess. Or they've simplified it to the point where there is sort of in their mind, clear right, wrong, good, bad, yes, no. But they haven't considered it enough or tried other perspectives. But my issue trying to do that is I don't have anything to go off of to make a decision. Makes it hard to really get anywhere, feel good about decisions and actions until it comes to kind of a pretty clearly agree with it or not. This is how the world works. This is how life is. If you don't do this, you will suffer. Things will be bad. I guess I'm talking pretty broad, basic things like if you don't work, you don't make money, you don't eat. And so I crave this sort of flexibility, freedom of, well, maybe I could at least be in the system until I can work my way out of it. Or adjust my situation so that I don't have to be in that system. But now I have to create my own system, and that's not really my forte, I guess. Or I don't have anything to base it on, so I don't have anywhere to start, really. I thought when I was older I would know things more clearly and be able to make decisions, I guess. The older I get, the more I know, and the more I know, the more complicated things seem. I don't know, I guess, what it is that I want. And I'm not sure what is going to be satisfying. Figuring out the real complicated thing or making it simpler and having it easier to figure out. Easier is not really the right word, but it's going to take less time and effort if things are simpler. But I think ultimately I always feel like then there's something I have to ignore or give up. And people have done that to a point that it has caused problems now. But systems and structures created were based on ignoring that thing. So we can't bring it up or everything's going to crumble down. Might be a bit hyperbolic, but I guess that's kind of what I think. That was literally things just swirling around in my head. Felt like actually getting to something that is affecting my life. Unable to make a final decision or a confident decision to be sure about anything. Instead of just a vague, try my best, work with the info I got, make the best decision I can. And I just don't have margin for planning much further ahead of that, or with ADHD, it's really hard to see much further than that. And I have a candle. I'm walking around the room trying to make the decisions of where to go and what to do. And I just have to keep replacing the candle instead of being able to find a brighter light source. Because if I don't keep moving, then that'll be bad too. That makes sense. Well, maybe more on that in the future. See you tomorrow.